My name is Seth Winburn. But Andy and I, it was almost like, I don't know, I don't want to say, it was fate in a way because we became extremely tight, closer to him than I was even to my own brothers. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to them, but that's how, we're just, I don't know, basically a year apart in age. We loved hunting, fishing, and it just clicked. And so almost immediately we were kind of attached at the hips, and so was Andy and my wife Lindsay. And so pretty much, we ate together as family. When Andy wasn't working and when they got off from his shift and stuff, we probably ate dinner at my house or his house 2 or 3 times a week, the four of us. And so that's kind of, yes, I'm not blood relation or anything like that, but it's probably closer to him than he was to his own family other than his wife. And he really loved to teach. They even went into his fireman job. Anytime there was something that he could do to teach any of the other firemen, he jumped right in and took it with open arms and embraced it. Kind of a good example of that, before he had passed away the year before, they have a training. I'm not going to get it exactly right, but I can tell the gist of it is where if they have an emergency vehicle and they have to cut it all, use the jaws of life and all those equipment and tools, the guy that did that for 20 years, roughly prior, retired. And then the fire department was real, like, oh, we're going to lose that talent, that stuff. Well, they were so, when they had Andy, he stepped right in and they didn't even miss a beat. He embraced it. I'd go over to the house and he'd be studying, reading books on it to know how to be better at teaching that. So always just wanted to teach people, especially anything to do with the firemen and in the fire department. Just really loved everything about it. On a side note, kind of in the community, Andy helped me do anything I ever needed to do at the house. And if he wasn't helping me do something, I would go and help my mother-in-law or another family member, and he was around, he'd come with me and help. He helped countless people at the fire department move. If anybody needed anything, he would help and just do it with open arms, never complained about it or anything like that. No matter how, if we were doing something that was wrong or there was a better way to do it, he'd just go along with it and then be happy about it. That was, I don't say that because he's not with us anymore, but that's just the way he was. That's the kind of person he was. He'd help anybody, anytime. So my first experience with the fire department was through Andy. I did have my mom did work for the police department, but she was a dispatcher, but she worked the night shift and she was a single mom. And so I never really had interactions with the public service department really at all. And so, but through Andy, I did. And the fire department, it was unique at first. It was like a little child when you go to the station to do something for Andy or pick something up or to meet him for whatever reason. And you see the big fire trucks. I know I'm a 40-year-old man, but still, it still intrigued me because it's the first time you've ever been there. And then one of the questions, well, you have a pole you slide up down? And they actually have a pole, even in today's deal where you can slide down. And so he showed me the whole deal, how they have their uniforms, their bunks, how they sleep. He used a certain bedroll. He faces his bed the same way as he does at home. All these things to help sleep because, some nights it's not bad, but then a lot of nights there's no sleep or it's very little. And it's, you have to, whenever you get rest, you got to be able to take advantage of it. And so they teach, them to do these things like they would at home. And in Weatherford, they traveled around wherever they changed up, after he was always at one station, but then they started doing a rotation. And so anytime we'd go hunting or something, he had all of his fireman stuff in his truck because, he would go at different stations, pretty randomly. And so it was a little tough, on him that way. But even that being said, he'd get off at, all-nighter and we were going to Deer Lease. I'd drive, he'd get some snooze and it never held him up, even if he worked hard. What the firemen have, the brotherhood is, even to this day, is still so powerful. The reason it's so powerful is because we're a year later and we're talking about him. We're talking about all the fallen loved ones. there's a brotherhood that I can't really explain. So whenever Andy passed away, we had a convoy of all firemen, police, um, that came from West Texas. It was about a 6 hour drive. And every overpass, there was, we love you, we support you. There's firemen. The line of trucks was endless to bring his body back to Woodford, Texas. Andy loved this camaraderie, this brotherhood, and he talked about it all the time. I never wanted to be anything other than a fireman because of what I've explained. He always told us that if something ever happened to me, don't worry, Deborah, the fire department will take care of you. I mean, and he so heartily believed in that, and 100% it came through. He loved his job. He loved his family. And I use those terms. There's not another way you can make love bigger than what it is. Andy loved his wife, Deborah, to death. I mean, anybody who's been married for a long period of time or in a relationship, you can always, the other always wears on the other, and you have to learn how to adapt with that. Andy's patience was astronomical. I don't think I've ever seen him got upset at Deborah. I mean, I'm sure that it happened, but in public it never happened. Mainly because of his patience. His demeanor was strong. He was a very well-built man, loved to work out, super strong, super in shape. His heart was ginormous. He just if he loved you, he'd do anything for you. He just would do that. His willingness to serve. I mean, the fire department, it's a serve industry. We serve the public. And he didn't just serve the public in that aspect. He served the public off duty too. If you need him, he'd be there. I just can't say that enough. That's how much he was willing to help others. That's the one thing. He helped me so many times, doing stuff. We'd be doing things or helping other people that Deborah's like, when are you going to come home, be with me? He just got off work. That was that. Not because he didn't want to go home to his lovely wife. It was just because that's how much he wanted to help and do that for others.